Okay, Luna, you can't just chill on the screen there. Come on. Hi, honeys. Okay, so we're gonna hang out with Luna for just a little bit. And today I'm going to be talking to you guys about 5 mistakes chameleon keepers make. So without further ado, let's get into it. You got a big yawn? Woo! Big yawn for Luna. The first mistake chameleon keepers make is trying to help their chameleons shedding. So you guys can actually see that Luna is shedding right now. She's got some shed on her legs and on her back still. But when your chameleon is shedding, it's best to leave them alone. Let them shed on their own. It can actually be very painful for your chameleon if you try to assist them shedding. The analogy that I like to use is when you get sunburnt and your skin starts to peel, it's a little painful when you start to peel off that skin when it's not ready. But once the skin's separated, then it flakes off no problem. So a chameleon should be able to shed no problem all on their own. The only time you would ever need to assist a chameleon is if it was on like the little end of their tail or on their toes where it could potentially cut off circulation. But with Luna here, she's got some big chunks, I don't know if you guys can see that, still on her. So she's actually okay. And while it looks funny and while it looks like it'd be easy for me to just pick it off, I'm gonna leave her be. What? You're yawning. Fun fact, chameleons yawn. Another common mistake chameleon keepers make is that they overfeed their chameleons. As a baby, your chameleon should be eating as much as they can because they're still growing. Oh, you are pooping on me. I knew it.
Oh, you are pooping on me.
Oh, Luna. Ew, ew, ew. Ew, ew, ew. Okay, guys. Yep, there it goes. Ew. Oh, yep, we're just gonna, yep. I had a feeling she was gonna poop on me. Her butt was rubbing up against me. Ah, yes. The joys of chameleon keeping. You have any more? Going once, going twice. So I have a towel on the ground in front of the enclosure, so at least she pooped onto the towel. Minus my hand. You done? Another common mistake is that keepers will overfeed their adult chameleon. So when a chameleon is a baby, they'll eat as much as they can because they're growing and they'll be eating like 10 to 15 bugs a day, but people don't realize they need to cut back on how much they're offering their chameleon as they become an adult. So the general recommendation for an adult chameleon is 3 to 4 bugs every 2 to 3 days. As you can see, this is much less than a chameleon who is a baby who's eating every single day 10 to 15 bugs. But chameleon obesity is a very real thing, and so we need to be mindful that we're not overfeeding our chameleons. You can tell if your chameleon is overweight by the top of their head, if it's puffy, or if their legs are puffy. I made a whole video on the signs of an overweight and underweight chameleon, so I'll be sure to link that up above and in the description box below for you guys. Another mistake is people will feed their chameleon only 1 or 2 types of bugs. Make sure you're feeding not just 1, not just 2, but even 3, 4, 5 different types of bugs. People will ask me like, what bugs should I feed my chameleon on a daily basis? And like, while there are some bugs that are a little bit healthier than others, the biggest thing is to feed your chameleon a variety of bugs. My favorites to recommend people are crickets, roaches, silkworms, black soldier fly larvae, blue bottle flies, and black soldier flies. Those are my favorite bugs to feed my chameleon on the regular. Some great treat bugs would be waxworms, hornworms, superworms. The next mistake I see is people leaving lights on the enclosure at night. So chameleons need total darkness in order to sleep, so they shouldn't have any lights on. Your light should be on for 12 hours and off for 12 hours. Because they need darkness, some people worry like, oh, but what if my chameleon gets too cold at night? Where are you trying to go, honey? But chameleons actually benefit from a temperature drop at night. So there's no reason to provide them a heat bulb as long as the environment that they live in isn't getting below 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Otherwise, you can turn all their lights off. Another thing people ask me about is the lights in the room that the chameleon is. And in my experience, my guys don't mind. There's just ambient light, like a computer screen or a TV screen, but they do typically wake up when there's a ceiling light or overhead light that turns on. The last mistake I want to talk about is using substrate. So this is anything that you put in the bottom of your enclosure. Commonly, I see repti bark or cocoa husk. This is just not recommended. The two things I would recommend is to make it fully bioactive, in which case you have isopods and springtails and a drainage layer. That's a great option. But if you're not going to do that, then I'm going to recommend that you keep the bottom bare and just put potted live plants at the bottom. This way you're not running the risk of your chameleon accidentally eating a bug or ingesting any of the bark and then becoming impacted, which can cause issues. So you want to avoid that. Plus, putting the potted live plants at the bottom can actually help absorb some of the water, which can be handy for you guys. So hopefully now you know how to avoid making these mistakes, and if you have made these mistakes, just take a deep breath, make the corrections, and avoid trying to make them in the future. If you enjoyed this video and if you enjoyed seeing Luna, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Leave me any questions or comments down below. Feel free to subscribe so you know when I post a new video, and you can follow Luna and Neptune and all my other chameleons on social media at Neptune the Chameleon. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye. Say bye, Luna. You're supposed to wave and look cute. You did such a good job, honey. No, hold on. Go back in. No, don't, honey. Luna. Honey bunny, where are you going? Nope, look it. I can't see you. Oh, there you go. Just need a leg. Ooh! Ah, good job. Luna, Luna, go in. There you go. Now just wait. This is the side of chameleon keeping that no one shows. Just waiting. We're gonna climb back in. Taking her sweet time. You got it? Almost there. Woo! Good job. All right. You did great. Minus pooping on me.